Hi, welcome to SMA Sketch Club. My name is Jerry and I'm standing in the lobby here at the museum. We have lots of fun things to look at in this lobby, but what I want to focus on are these beautiful porcelain representations of birds. These along this section were done by the British artist Dorothy Dowdy. And Dorothy Dowdy was very good at showing these birds as they actually looked. This is one of my favorite pieces. It is called Elf, Owl, and Sauraro. And if you look at this piece, you'll notice that the owl is probably the center of attention, gets our attention first. And this is a very small owl. It's about the size of a soda can or maybe a sparrow. This little owl is native to southwestern Texas, central Mexico, and the Baja California Peninsula. And this owl is perched atop of a cactus, and it looks like he's looking at those beautiful flowers. And it's those flowers that are going to be the inspiration for our drawing activity today. So take a look at these flowers, and I'd like you to notice how each one is in a little bit of a different position. The ones in the front look like they're coming out directly towards the viewer, but the ones on the side are slightly angled. This changes how much of the petals that you actually see, and it gives the piece a sense of depth. And this is really important, especially when we're working on a drawing, which is two-dimensional. So let's go to the studio and let's get started on our drawing. Welcome to the studio. What you're going to need for this project is very simple. You just need some paper to draw on, a pencil, and an eraser. You might want to use a fine tip marker to outline your drawing when you're done, but you don't need that. That's totally up to you. Let's get going. All right, when you first start learning how to draw or start experimenting with drawing and you're much younger, and a flower might be something that you want to draw. And a lot of times they are drawn something like this. And this is a very nice picture of a flower. We would say that this is stylized, but it doesn't look realistic. And in the real world, the petals might be going in different directions. One might be falling down. They could be different shapes. They might be torn. And I would doubt that a stem would be this straight. So what we're going to work on today is trying to get our flowers to look a little bit more realistic. So let's get started. I'm going to kind of sketch out some circles and ovals to plan my composition, which is how everything is laid out. I think I'll put a circle toward the middle. Now these lines that I'm drawing now are guidelines, and they're going to be erased later on. So you might want to draw yours even lighter than I am. I'm drawing a little bit darker so that you can see them, but they will be erased. So we've got a circle there. So now I'm going to put an oval, or I might call this an ellipse, over here. And then a shape that looks something like that. And we're going to save that little guy for last because he's a little bit different than the others. So this is going to help us plan how our petals are going to be lined up. Now the flower has that central part of it, and we're going to put smaller circles. So since this flower is going to be facing straight on to the viewer, we're going to have the center part of the flower there. Now, these two over here are going to be facing to my left. So their circular part is going to be actually an oval, and it's going to be not in the center. And this one would be the same way. And then we're going to flip that over here, do an oval on the right side. And this is a circle again. Okay, this guy we're gonna save. And this circle, we'll just do one in the middle for it. So this center flower, we're gonna divide it like that. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are going to be where my petals are placed. And today we're not drawing any particular kind of flower, we're just making a flower so we can make up our shapes for our petals. We may have a couple of different kinds. Now, when we get over to these that are ovals, we're going to draw those lines more like this. So I'm still going to have 5 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're further over. Same thing here. I could do one here, do one there, do one here maybe. That's 3, 4, and we can do one here. Next, let's start with this guy. And now I'm going to draw some lines, and I'm going to hold my pencil really loosely. That way it kind of has some movement to it, because in nature things are kind of loose and wiggly. So I'm just going to sketch around this line, and that's going to be my first petal. And then come over here, and I'm staying inside that circle. That circle's there for a reason. It's helping me know where to put these petals and how big to make them. Maybe this one goes over here. And let's see, this one could go there. So they're not completely spaced, it's not perfectly even. But there's our flower. All right, let's try one that is leaning to the left. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm staying within the oval this time. So what's happening is some of the petals are, you see a lot of them. And then others are shorter because they're turned away from us. So it makes it look like this flower is facing this way. All right. Oops. Okay, let's do the same thing here. I think I'm going to change the shape of the petal, kind of more like a daisy. So I'm going around, and I'm staying inside that oval. And if I wanted to, I could add another one. I think it needs another one there, a little short one like that. I could do that up here too. Let's add another one. Okay, again, this flower looks like it's going away from us. So let's try that in the opposite direction. I'm going to start with this one. Maybe do another kind of different petal like the daisy. So already these flowers have a much more organic feel to them than the first one that we looked at, that we would maybe have done when we were a little bit younger. All right, now let's take our attention to this one. What if this flower, we're viewing it from the complete side, where we wouldn't even see that center part of the flower? So to do that, we're going to make kind of a little area right here, and kind of put some little spikes on it, little triangles. And then we can come down, because we're going to go down into this stem. And then just smooth all that out. And then you could add your petals this way. So you're just seeing this guy completely from the side. Now in a minute, I would erase my starting lines there, little guidelines. All right, so let's do that with some of the other flowers. Let's go back and we could add some more little lines coming from the center. Sketch them, be loose and light. Now, sometimes the petals will curve, will kind of curl over. So you could do something like this shape. Kind of shade that in a little bit. And so it looks like the petal has kind of curved in on itself. You don't have to do them all that way, but every now and then that looks nice. Something else we can do is put little circles in here for the center of the flower. And the center didn't have to be perfectly round. That one kind of came out that way. So I'm going to go to each one and add some details. There are so many different kinds of flowers. Start paying attention when you see some to the different shapes of the petals, how some of the petals will fold over. If around your house, if you see any artificial flowers or real ones, try to draw them and you can change their position. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a stem on this one, maybe kind of coming out this way. We're drawing a grouping of flowers. And same thing with each one. So I could keep going and I could fill this entire page with flowers, but definitely what I would want to do is go back in with my eraser and erase those guidelines. Now the ones that we used at the very beginning, we kind of turned those into parts of our flower, so those are okay. But go back in and erase your guidelines. And if you wanted to, you could add color to this with colored pencils, or you could even paint it. Or you might just want to leave it pencil. This one that I did, I added some little leaf shapes, but you could add more pronounced leaves if you wanted to. But I just left this one in marker. So pencil's fine too. So how did you feel about that drawing activity? I really like it because I think it gives my drawings a little bit more of a realistic look to them, and I would like to go out and look at different kinds of flowers and practice drawing different kinds of petals and from different angles to make them look even more lifelike. So thanks for drawing with me today, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.